Okay, I think I'm ready. I got that. I got that. I got these. I got 2 of those. I got a bag. A wonderful man purse that Becky made me. Becky, are you still out there? You still watching my videos? And I got my pin pointer. And we are going to maybe go up that mountain or down this road. This is the same spot where I've been multiple times the last few days of the journey coming up until I can get back out here again. It's clouding up. There's trees and leaves and dirt and things, and that's what we're gonna do. I'm in a trench. I don't know if you can tell, but there's lots of high signals. I got a feeling it's a trench where everyone just threw garbage. I mean, I really got a feeling that's what this is going to be, but I want to know for sure. I also put a new Sam's 9-volt in here, so it's going to be awesome. I know that if it's an aluminum can signal, that it's going to beep even way up here with a detector. But out here, I just want to know the whole show. This is about 6,000 years of Parasofta. If it is a can, it is a fence. It's not a fence. It is a metal wall thing in the ground. We're not going to dig that. We'll find another little spot in here. Now right behind me is even more crunchy but lower tones. Okay, I'm not gonna do that either. It's the rest of the fence. It's got a pretty solid 99 here. My sound is so messed up on my headphones that I think that's just a can. Yeah, it is. Well, that's a big can, if it's a can. So, big cans are better than small cans. Let's say you need a whole lot to drink. Then there's your can. Got in it. What? Another 99. And I adjusted the sensitivity on my GoPro, so hopefully it wouldn't be jerking around a lot. There's boost, auto boost, on, off. Okay, so we know that we're outside it right here, because you know that I'm so good at digging the actual spots where things are. So we're going to start outside it. Like that. To a basketball game last night in my sun. That's another can. It used to be shaped like that, and it had a handle. We shall harvest and then finish the story in a minute. 5960, right by that broken cedar. And if you're familiar with broken cedars, you know that a deer probably did that. A small deer, a doe, a deer, a female deer. So this signal was a little deeper. I wasn't going to dig it. I think if I run my pinpointer where the detector picked it up, picked up the sound, we might could find it. So the basketball game was interesting. There's fans, and then there's really obnoxious people. I'm talking about high school. And this fella and his wife, not anymore. I decided never mind on the story because I'll stay in my lane. Unless it was one of my boys' games, it would have been a different story, but being out of my area, how is this possible? I would stay in my lane. So let's put these heaters on our head. I put them on my head. And let's try this again. Well, it's still showing that it's about 4 inches deep. That's a fid in detecting talk. If someone says, well, where is it? I say, it's still a fid. It's 4 inches deep. You can only use that if you're a professional, though. It's not tiny. How's this possible? It's a rock. All I need is one little beep to persuade me to keep going. And I had it there. Did you see it? Are you serious? Oh, someone moved it over there. There it is. It is a head stamp. It is a... I see, I'm confused because I don't have a small one in my hand now. So we better put it on a cleaning tree and see if it is a Winchester M4 or another one. I still can't tell. It is a Peters repeater, so we shall harvest. Old, but not old enough. Well, possibly old enough. This one should be easier. This is a iron signal. Well, then it sounded like a bullet down here. So it's either one bullets, or multiple, with the strips still with them. Or another can. It's hard to tell. But it should be easier to loc than the other one. Loc is a short term for locate. That's only used in the metal detecting world, like Merc. People don't like library. I think that has set me apart from the rest of the metal detecting community, because they don't realize that there is a library on the back of a penny. That's beautiful. There's a 5-hole L bracket we should harvest. 64 to 68. A decent little piece of lead, or a blank. Or a boat. Yeah, me too. Or a head stamp. I don't know why that was in the 60s. That is another modern in terms of World War I, although it could be really early, but I can't read it. We'll take the time later. I got a really nice 77 right here. And it's only a couple inches deep, but this is next to a tree, which is next to a ditch, which is next to a hill, where any modern day hunter could sit. This property is still hunted. Different than I did. I kind of lost my desire to deer hunt back during the days of the cove. A deer had been hit near where I lived, base camp, and I might have told y'all this story. I was sick with COVID, had a bad fever. I moved it. There it is. It's a piece of brass. What the other part's down here? Nope. So the deer had just been hit. And I told my bride, I said, hey, there's a deer down the road that's just been hit. I wasn't going to get it and ate it. But it had a nice little rack, and it was in velvet. I moved that tree for 33. Wasn't going to dig this, but so the deer was in velvet. You're impressed, aren't you? Between the last dig and this one, I'm on the same story. It's a can. We shall harvest. So the deer had been hit. The deer was laying on the road. The deer was in full velvet. The deer was no longer with us. Only in body. High tone 70, 79, 75. But yet iron at the same time. Oh, that's pretty solid 76 right on top. High tone. There's always iron out here. I'll tell you what I can't figure out. when I gotta hold this wire, otherwise I don't hear this in both headphones. I don't hear it. It's 27, 27. Go a little more. It's crunchy. 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there is nothing but a solid, loud 75. So the question is, where is it under your coil? Is it in the center of the coil, the top of the coil, or the bottom of the coil? I would assume that that's right smack dab in the center of the coil. If that's the case, it's right there, right? So let's take our pinpointer and put it on there, because that's where the best signal was. Okay, I'm getting a signal right dead center of the coil. I dig. I removed the upper 2 inches of the Terra off to get to the Terra Firma. I remove the Earth's toupee. And it should be right here. I go a little bit more below the topsoil to the Terra Firma. And I continue to look. Now I got a good solid signal. This is where it goes from high tone to low tone. Always, always, always. Because I don't know why. So, go deeper. And it's over there. I hope it's not just a bullet. Oh, it's that. That's a bummer. So that is the brass strips. So the deer's laying there. And I think, okay, that's a nice little basket rack in velvet. I've never put my hands on one in velvet before. And it was odd that it was in velvet anyway, because it seemed to be later in the season. 77 to 80. This should be another strip for ammo. So the deer's laying there, full velvet. And I hike all, well, drive back to the house. I get the four-wheeler. It's freezing cold, misting. I've got a fever, and the only prescription is you finish it. Okay, I want more cowbell. So the only prescription is if you get to where you can't breathe, go to the hospital. I've been running my O2 sensor. It's my own personal O2 sensor. I had it plugged in. And my oxygen was iffy. That is the Kickstarter for a grenade. 72, 73 right there. 50s and 60s next to the tree. I want to start next to the tree. So I get a rope and I get on a four-wheeler. You know what's amazing? We're in the same story in about 4 holes. I've never been able to do that before. So that's what that is. I got a feeling the rest of these signals are going to be those. I believe somebody said those are 30-06 blanks, although it's not crimped, so it might have been a red tip. I think I can say that. So I'll get my handy dandy rope. I'll get my 21-year-old It's a Honda, so it still runs like it was made yesterday. And I head down the road. Freezing cold. Didn't see this. And the only description, okay, never mind. So I head down the road and I go up to it and I thought, okay, I've only got a minute to do this because I don't want a car to come around and squash me while I'm hauling a car hit deer out of the road. I throw the rope around the rack, cinch it up, head back, drop off in the creek. And I thought, okay, if you don't want to hear the story about how I removed the head of this deer, you might want to fast forward. This whole hillside at the base of this tree is littered with ammo, so we will get away from this tree. This is the 80s, 90s, but all iron. I'm hoping, since it's at the base of a different tree, which looks like a pair of legs. Look at this tree. You ever thought about this? Doesn't look like somebody's buried upside down on the ground unless their legs going straight up. Yeah, it does. I get mad. This is a mighty vibrant signal, which covers this whole hill. So I take the deer down there. I do the standard issue. Well, first of all, you gotta realize the deer is already deceased. So instead of it just getting run over the road, this is large. Instead of it getting run over the road 5 million times, this particular area where the base camp is has a lot, like a whole lot, of coyotes. So I thought, okay, I'll get a rack and velvet, work on it myself, and I don't want to hit something that's going to make a loud sound, because I'm trying to not be loud, because I don't like loud, unless it's Skid Row or 80s rock ballads. What are we talking about? I'll get some nice. That is large and heavy. Well, I don't know if it's heavy. It's underground. So, I mean, it simply looks like the lid to something, but there's no way to know unless you take it out. And it could be a full barrel of monkeys. They used to sell monkeys in barrels. I don't know if y'all knew that. I'm gonna clear the top off, then we'll get back. Wipe your face off. So, if it is just a lid off of something, it'll be one less piece of metal in the woods, right? The thing is, even though I see an edge there and all the way around, it does not move. Usually if it's just a lid all by itself, it moves. So, let's keep going. I need enough dirt to rebury it. Well, this is where it gets a little scary. I am in the barrel. And there are things in the barrel that probably mean it should never have been buried to begin with. But let's try to move the lid one more time. Feel free to tell me what this is, if you know, because I'm getting a little nervous. This barrel is full of these. Again, tell me what you think. The barrel is full of water and these. I can smell it now. I'm thinking I'm learning what these are. Ever so slowly, yes, I know what these are. So how do you find a barrel full of these? I guess like this, right? If it wasn't full of water and completely saturated, I would not do this. I'm only going to do this for a couple more minutes and then we're going to cover this barrel back up. Well, not cover the barrel. This barrel is full of ammo. Gosh, I forget the name of the gun that would shoot these. What is it called? Help me out. The Garand, M1 Garand, right? You would put it on the end and you would shoot these out. And it would give it a bigger boost and make it fly farther. So if you've never seen inside one, that's what it looks like. I don't want this red stuff on me. But I want to sit down and look at it. There's a whole lot of ammo in there. There's another one right there. I guess I should not have exploded one of those red things. What is that red stuff? If you were stationed at Camp Lejeune, not Camp Lejeune, what is it? If you were stationed at, God, what is the place called? If you were stationed at, so anyway, you get the picture. This almost finishes the deer story for me. if I could get a hole in the side of this can, then it would drain, and that's when it would be nice. But if you were stationed at wherever between what is it, 1980 whatever and 1980 something else, please call us, because you've been exposed to that. This is the deer story. I want to finish the deer story. I'll drag it down to the creek. There's a whole nother stack of ammo right there. If I just had one hole in the side of this thing, I can make it drain. I've already said that, haven't I? I really don't want to cut myself. That's not moving. Okay, long story short, I grabbed the rack, the velvet rack of the deer. I am removing in a ever so gentle but aggressive, fever-ridden state of mind process to get the rack, because I'm going to do a European mount, bleach it out, and have this pretty velvet thing that someone else hit. All the velvet came off in my hand, and it was a horrible bloody mess. And but since I had started, I finished. I took the remainder of the deer, drug it downstream, set it on the bank. In 2 days there was nothing but clean bones. Don't get offended by that, because think about it. When you go out to Popeyes or wherever and you clean the chicken off the bones, it's the same process, except we consider ourselves more civil as we do it, as opposed to wild animals that do it. So you can buy your chicken on the bone, tear it off like a carnivore, or you can get your chicken already off the bone and present it as a beautiful little feast on the table, and everybody goes, oh, this chicken is so tender. So whichever the way you choose to do it, you do it. I'm going to open the side of this and let it drain, because I can't stand it. I gotta know what else is in there. I would be thrilled to death if there was a machine in there that made these make noise. This was obviously buried intentionally, which doesn't offend me or upset me. It's just the way it was. So if you want to hang around, hang around. I messed up. I covered up my clean sitting down spot. So I'm left with hand picking. But I want to show you something. There's a massive root surrounding this thing. I can't drain it. So that puts me in a situation. Yes, I'm going immediately to wash my hands in just a second. I got a little bit of travel to do to get back there, but I think this is where the video ends, because I do got a long walk and I got to clean this hand off. Thanks for watching my videos. Oh, did I tell you the rest of the story? Yeah, I went ahead and dragged the body down there at the creek. It was gone, everything was done, all the coyotes were fat and happy. I went ahead and boiled, again, this is just gross. I went ahead and boiled out the head to get ready to process to do the European mount, and I did it too long because I got sick and fell asleep, even sicker. I got up and there was nothing but mush. Thanks for watching my videos.